Oh, this is quite a good spot to come up to just to see how quiet it is on day one after lockdown here in Wellington. And usually this promenade here is busy, 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 but have a look at it today. G'day, how are you? I'm just coming to the city today because today's our first day on level 2, and that's kind of our unlockdown state. We were in level 4, which was full on lockdown for 4 weeks, and then we spent a couple of weeks, 2.5 maybe, in level 3, and now we're back in level 2, which means people can go back to their jobs and that sort of thing. So I just came into town today to see if there are many people around, and I tell you now, there's not. It's pretty empty. Yeah, it was a really peaceful trip actually. There's something quite nice about sitting on the train and that seat next to you is blocked off, you know, so you got that kind of whew. And hopefully we can get through the day without catching a cold, so to speak. Anyway, while I was in here, I thought I'd make a couple of cuts, and firstly I wanted to mention about the minimum focusing distance on lenses. And the reason this has come about is because I've been moving into getting prime lenses over zooms. Naturally, you buy the prime lenses for the different focal range. Say, let's say 35mm, 50mm, 85mm. When you buy them, you are envisaging that you're going to have a different frame. And to a degree, that's true, so long as it's outside of the minimum focusing distance. And what does that mean? I bring up this app on my phone, it's called Photo Pills. And now this field of view we're going to look at here is for a 35mm on a full frame. That's what a 35mm on a full frame is going to capture. And then we can change that down to, let's change it to 50mm. And then this is going to show you the 50mm perspective. For field of view, it's much more narrow. Now we'll go to the 85. And here's the 85, it's much, much tighter. So as you can see, it punches right in a lot closer. And with that in mind, that is really where you get the benefits of your focal length, is out there. Because at the minimum focusing distance, they all sort of meld into the one. And the first example I'll give is this 35mm lens that's on here has quite a wide field of view, but the minimum focusing distance on it is 17 centimeters. So you can get right in close, 17 centimeters away from the sensor, and take a very close-up shot, which actually gives you quite a tight frame, as I'll show you now, at the minimum focusing distance with the 35mm. The next prime lens we'll look at is the 50mm. Now this has a minimum focusing distance more around 45 centimeters. So although the frame is tighter, you're actually pulling it back further, which is going to make it wider in itself. So that's a bit of a trick as well to watch out for. Unless you're punching beyond that minimum focusing distance, that's what you're going to get. And as you can see, it's not much tighter than the 35mm. Because we had to hold it back further, it was a wider frame. They are almost the same shot, just with a different perspective. Okay, the next one we're going to look at is the 85mm at the minimum focusing distance. Now, believe it or not, the minimum focusing distance is 85 centimeters. So 85 centimeters away before you can take a shot in focus with the 85mm. Now, of course, the 85mm, we're expecting to be able to punch in further, but the minimum focusing distance is going to bring us out and increase the size of the frame, just like we saw with the 50mm over the 35. So let's take the shot with the 85mm and have a look at this. And then what we'll do is we'll put them all together side by side. Tell me what you're seeing here. Tell me what you're seeing here. It's only when you punch beyond the minimum focusing distance that you're going to achieve the potential of that extra reach in that prime lens. Definitely something to think about, because when I think about prime lenses, I'm thinking about things like, is the glass got any scratches or is it clean? I'm thinking about, does the focus ring move smoothly? Does it look in good condition? Is it, what's it made out of? I check all the reviews, you know, and people talk about the minimum focusing distance, but they don't really put it into context about what that's going to mean about your closest focusing frame. It may not punch in quite as far as you need it to, so in which case you're going to have to reach into that macro zone, which is a lens that will intercede in that minimum focusing distance and give you the closer frame you're looking for. Definitely food for thought. I mean, I buy prime lenses now. I will be thinking about the minimum focusing distance so I know, or so I can predict what sort of frame, what size field of view I'm going to get at the minimum focusing distance of that lens. That's just food for thought, so take it on and see what you reckon. Definitely one to put on the checklist for when you're buying your prime lenses.